Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NAMM 2017. I'm here with the awesome crew from BeatIt.tv. Really nice guys, and I'm going to show you guys the revolutionary EC-10M El Cajon mic processor from Roland. Now, Roland's just launched the world's first hybrid cajon a year ago at NAMM, which won the NAMM show, and September last year they've launched the second product in the EC10 range, which is the El Cajon EC-10M El Cajon mic processor. Now, the first thing I want to state about this is, contrary to the EC10, the EC10M is a product that we buy that we add to our cajon. So it's not a cajon, it's a pedal with a microphone that we actually add to our cajon. So it's an accessory that turns our cajon into a main badass fighting machine. All right, cool. So I'm going to show you guys just a little bit. It consists of the EC10M console pedal, which is this little bad boy over here. So we have all our sounds built into this. This is our preamp as well. It's also our pad function. This is how we move from one sound to the other. Obviously, lines out, lines in, all of that thing. It's also battery powered. So check out a little bit more about the technical specs of this. And then the other little particle of this, which is really important, is our little microphone, right? This is a condenser microphone. Inside of this condenser microphone, we also have a sensor, right? So our triggering system and our miking system is both in the same little item. Now, this is the world's first microphone developed and designed especially for the cajon, and I think it's about time, and it sounds amazing. I'm going to show you guys how we use this on our existing cajon. Again, this is not a cajon, this is something that you put on your cajon, and in fact, you can actually put it on any other drum or any other surface, and in a bit, I'm going to show you how we can even take that cardboard box and turn it into a drum machine. Okay, so just the technical side of things. This is the way that we utilize this little microphone, right? It's got really easy to use, clip on, boom, stays there on the back of our cajon, and that's where you want it to be. It's beautiful. A lot of people have asked me, it looks a bit small, are you going to have enough bass coming through that? Well, the answer is yes. It's specifically designed and developed for the cajon, so it brings out all those frequencies and nuances which are so important to the flamenco cajon, and it sounds beautiful. Let's have a little listen. Alright, so I'm just going to do the mic for you guys. There are 4 main functions of the EC-10M. The first one is miking up our cajon. I hope it's not going to be too loud. It's a bit louder. Pretty. Sounds really pretty. Can you guys hear that? It was a little bit loud for my ears, but yeah. Okay, cool. So that's our microphone sound. As you can hear, we're getting a really nice bass and a really nice response on our highs. The bass is not too boomy, which is really cool. And one of the most difficult things for me as a cajon player when I go out and mic up my cajon is to get a really nice, high, crispy sound. I'm always having to mess with the mids. With this, I don't need to touch any EQ. It's all there and it sounds gorgeous. All right, cool. The other thing is we've got our total volume control over here, volume control button, so you can control your volume. You've also got a compressor button, so you can compress it if you want or decompress it. That's pretty cool. So this is our mic section. First function. Second function we're going to be looking at is our electronic signals, triggered sounds. Please forgive me for doing this. I need my toes. These shoes, you know? Girls. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add our electronic signals. Now, what I've told you before is inside our microphone we have a very high-tech sensor, right, that senses the difference between our bass frequencies and our high frequencies and then triggers it accordingly, which is really cool. Contrary to your contact microphones, which are like against something, we really don't have to worry much about triggering or mistriggering or worrying about where do I play my bass to get the right reaction from it. As long as I'm getting a bass frequency out, it's going to trigger it accordingly. So really the response of this triggering system is 100% beautiful, and I love it. Okay, the other thing I want to say is you can use function number 1 and function number 2 at the same time, which means I can use my acoustic cajon sound and my triggered sounds together, and I've got full control as to how much of which of these functions do I want to put in. So for instance, if you just want to enhance a bit of your cajon sound with a little bit, maybe you don't have enough bass on your cajon, but you still want to play, you know, acoustic cajon, you don't don't really like to go too electronic, you can just put a little bit of that drum kit sound behind it to give it a bigger boom, a bigger bass. So basically what this does is it can take your Fiat Panda and turn it into a Porsche. The other thing you can do is kind of have them on the same level, so it's like you're playing cajon and darbuka at the same time, or you can totally put your acoustic sound off and just be super electronic, pump it up and totally change your sound. So it's amazing. We've got full control on that with our dials over here, so we use these two together. Now just to remind you guys again what it sounds like just acoustically before I actually put my triggers on here for you. Now I'm going to add a little bit of my triggered sounds with my acoustic mic'd up sound. Alright, cool. You can immediately hear the bass was bigger. Obviously, we've got a little bit of like a shaker up there on the sound. So how that totally changed my sound, but I've still got that cajon sound in the back. You've got full control with your trigger sensitivity as well. At this moment, that's just my normal sound, cajon sound, and I'm just making the triggers on all my accents because I don't want the chicky, necessarily the shaker sound on all my ghost notes. So I've got a lot of control as to how I want it to sound, and I think it's beautiful. There's 15 kit sounds built into the EC-10M. Each kit sound has 4 different sounds. 1 sound for the bass, 1 sound for the high, and 2 sounds for our pad functions, which we're going to be looking at next. I'll just give you guys a little bit of an example of some of these sounds I absolutely love. So we've got palmas, ole, chico, a reggaeton, a reggaeton. Told you I was a clown. And then we've got some drum kit sound. One of my favorite ones. 808, legendary Roland sound. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, yo? Yeah, my milkshake bring all the boys to the yard. Yeah, you damn right. Well, it's better than yours. Get an EC-10M pedal tomorrow. Okay, cool. We've got a few other cool sounds. Darbuka. And this one. Shakira stuff. Lole, lole, lole. Oh, my voice is gone. Lole, lole. I'm almost sounding like Shakira, you know? I don't even need to try. That's just a joke, okay? That's just a joke. I love Shakira, can't you tell? All right, cool. And if you really want to go super, super electro, this is... aggression! Really cool. All right, so you can see how we can really use all the sounds to really screw around. If you're somebody who likes to play a lot of different styles, really cool. If you just want to enhance, really cool. If you need a mic to mic up your cajon and you don't care about the triggers, really cool and well worth it. The third function of the EC-10M is our pad pedal function, which is really cool. I play a lot of Latin music, and I have a cowbell pedal, which costs me as much as this pedal, right? For my bass drum, for the little stand thing, and then the cowbell thing, it costs me as much for this entire thing. So what that is, it means I can play with my feet. It gives me 2 more instruments. I got 2 pads, all right? And you can buy these extra pedals to kind of make it more comfortable for you to play these functions, but you don't need to. You can actually use it straight away on there. And I'm going to show you guys how this sounds. Pretty cool, right? Pretty sexy, all right? So each kit sound has those functions, and there's one thing we actually did, bearing in mind, now I say we because I actually had a big say in the final sounds of this. I actually helped them develop this pedal a little bit. I was their guinea pig, let's say it that way. I love Roland, and we've decided to actually add in the bass drum pedal on the pad. So for drummers who want to maybe because I know that drummers are fantastic. They have a lot of coordination. When they get on the cajon, they don't really know what to do with 2 hands alternating. So in this case, this is a great solution for the drummers who have their singers who say, please, I want you to play the cajon at my open mic night. And the guy's like, oh shit, I don't really want to. Well, here we go. This solves your problem. Really cool. All right, cool. fourth and final function is our loop function. Roland's decided to put in a loop function, which I think is pretty cool. This is very useful for scenarios like if you're playing with your band and you have no percussionist, or you're playing at home and you have no friends, and you want to just play with yourself, which sometimes happens to me. You can lay down a loop and you can play over it, right? I'm going to show it to you guys. It's really easy and simple to use. They have kept in mind that this is for drummers, so if you've never used the loop station before, don't worry, it's really easy. So right now we're on standby mode. Our B pad is flashing. The moment I start playing and my electronic triggers gets triggered, it starts recording my loop, and once I press it again, it just starts playing my loop. That makes sense? Let's check it out. Alright, so it's laid down a loop of the electronic sound. Now I can play over it with my acoustic sound. So what it's doing, it's kind of splitting my signal. And then when I kind of stop the loop, the electronic signals get assigned back to my playing. And if you're a really lazy drummer, pretty damn cool. Music is fun, it's meant to be fun, so have a lot of fun with this pedal. And the other thing that's pretty cool, so we can lay down a single loop, 6.5 minutes, and if you want to delete it, you press A and you press B again to start all over again. The other thing that's really cool, you can change your sounds. So for instance, you can lay down an entire arranged track with all your arrangements, and when you move into that heavy part where you want to have, for instance, maybe that super electronic sound, you can just change it as you go. Really, really cool, really useful. I love the EC-10M, and I think it's going to change the game for all percussionists and all cajon players. But the most important part about this, they've developed and designed it specifically with the cajon in mind, but it can be used on anything. So what I'm going to do is show you guys a ridiculous example of how cool the EC-10M is. I'm going to take this really crappy cardboard box and I'm going to turn it into a drum machine with the EC-10M. So check it out. So it's kind of cute that they did the box like that. It works out for me at NAMM to demo this. Really cool. All right, are you guys ready? So this is no surprise there. It's just like a bloody cardboard box, right? I'm gonna put my triggers on here. Very cool. How many people can say they can make this thing sound like that? It's really cool. The fact that it's not on the contact, it kind of has our, it gets our frequencies. Another thing that I do, I put it on my guitar. I lay down a loop on the body of the guitar, and I use the microphone over it to amplify and mic up my guitar. So there's a lot of cool things you can do. See you next year, baby. Thank you very much, BeatIt.tv.com or what? BeatIt.tv.